All right, welcome back to another Movie Lingo discussion. I'm Cody Flutie.
I'm Alyssa Jansen.
And my name is Nate.
And today we're going to be talking about the new animated film Inside Out. Nate, you want to give us a little in-depth description?
Okay, Inside Out is a new animated film that it centrals around the idea that your brain isn't controlled so much by chemicals, but rather by 5 different emotions that are personified. And there's joy, sadness, anger, fear, and disgust. And each of them live in this little room with a sight through your eyes on a big screen in front of them and a control panel with which they control how you react to certain situations. And some things are starting to change because the human that it centers around is reaching, she's 11 years old, right? She's reaching the age where you start to...
Riley.
Yeah, Riley's reaching the age where you start to mature and your thought patterns become different, and the 5 personified emotions are struggling to deal with that.
And at one point during the movie, 2 of the emotions, joy and sadness, get sucked up into a tube and go missing, and therefore she is left to deal with only fear, disgust, and anger as she's dealing with some troubles that she has at home. It's a very interesting movie. I think there's going to be a lot to talk about. But first, before we get into it, what did you guys think about the movie?
I thought this movie was fantastic. I really liked it a lot. I mean, I like kids' movies most of the time.
Because you're a child.
I'm a big man-child. Just humongous man-child. But yeah. I like this movie a lot more than I like other kids' movies, so that's saying something.
Oh, what about you?
I liked it. I went in the movie deciding that I was already going to like it because of everyone that was in it, or the voices that were in it, because they're not real people. And I really liked it. I liked that she only had to deal with those 3 emotions, and it showed what can happen when you don't have joy or sadness in your life, and you just have to deal with disgust, which was me completely, and fear and anger. And I liked the entire movie. It was really colorful, and I liked it.
And kept your attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked the movie too. It was first of all, it was really well put together. Very, very pleasing to the eye. The cast was really good because it had a lot of people. A lot of times during this movie, I would look at the movie and I would be like, I know that voice from somewhere, and then I would just be like, oh, that's Bill Hader or that's Mindy Kaling. Some of them came to me at first immediately. Amy Poehler voices Joy. And she's fantastic in it. We'll get more into that later. But overall, I liked the movie as well. It was a childish movie, but it had a lot of adult themes, a lot of messages about emotions.
Adult themes in the right way, though.
Yeah.
There's no need to.
I don't know. When you say adult themes, that could give somebody the wrong idea.
That's very true.
Amy Poehler's character didn't even have boobs.
That's very true.
None of them had boobs.
I didn't notice that.
No character in that movie except for maybe the mom.
Well, Disgust was super curvy.
Well, not only that.
Just because of her hips.
Riley's mom was super curvy.
Yeah, Riley's mom
true.
was busty and curvy and all that good stuff.
Yeah, and it makes sense why that dad wanted to put a baby in that. But anyway, so I guess we could start getting into it right now. First of all, let's talk about the animation, how you guys felt that it looked. Personally, I thought the movie looked great. It was very... I believe it's Disney Pixar that did this one. It was very sharp animation. It was very crisp and clean. There's scenes in this movie where people's memories get put into these orbs, and the orbs had this all different colors based on what type of emotion they were. And towards the beginning of the movie, the orbs were just one solid color, and then all of a sudden at the end of the movie, they realized that you can have one emotion and another mixed together. So then the orbs started swirling colors, and they looked like gumballs, and
looked
they
like those new swirly trick cereal.
Yeah, and the colors in the movie were really great. But how'd you feel about it?
I thought visually this movie was phenomenal on all accounts. It had good representation of abstract concepts through a physical portrayal. Whenever the character,
whenever they're a lot of big words.
I'm sorry.
I know. You make me sound so stupid. Because you're like, well, I'm like, yeah, I really liked it. It was.
We really liked the colors, the abstract moral concept of society and its underlying metaphors.
But when the human that they were in went to sleep at night, all the memories that racked up throughout the day would be stored, and that's similar to how actual memory is stored while you sleep. And I thought that was a really cool way to portray that. And then the colors were fantastic. They were very vibrant. There was no dull colors except for when they needed to be. And I thought that was great. And also another like cool subtle detail is none of the characters were really solid except for like maybe the glandular characters that took care of the memory dumping.
Yeah, when they close up on the characters, you could.
They were
notice
all
like,
a bunch.
little particles.
Oh yeah.
They were little glowing particles.
Yeah, Joy was glowing the most because she was yellow and happy all the time.
And she was
so
also the
would
lead
glow.
emotion for a child.
True.
I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure. Like they showed the different emotional characters for different people, and I'm pretty sure that the lead character for every person was glowing.
Yeah.
I
I
didn't-
know
I
the
didn't pay
mom's
attention to
lead
that.
character. The mom's lead character was sadness, but I don't remember what the dad's lead character was.
He was anger.
Yeah, it was
Anger?
anger, yeah.
Oh.
There were multiple times in this movie where we would get not only into Riley's psyche with the different characters, but you saw inside of the dad and inside of the mom, and then towards the end, as we were zooming through the city, you saw inside of like a bunch of different people, and it was really cool because basically it says that, you know, different people are ruled by different emotions. Certain people, like Riley, who's an 11-year-old girl, is really heavily dependent upon joy, whereas the mother, all of her emotions were women in, you know, glasses, very sophisticated, trying to keep their temper, and the
They were
dad.
all swooning over memories
The-
of
the-
Huge
Brazilian
mustache.
helicopter
the
pilots.
dad was just filled with anger,
mustaches.
like emotions, like dudes with short buzzed haircuts with mustaches that just wanted to watch the game. But visually, the movie, I thought it looked pretty good. I didn't notice about the solid of the characters until you brought it up in the movie. But yeah, they don't have a solid construct. And the one thing that I noticed that I really appreciated was when we were inside of Riley's like imagination, you noticed like everything is bright and shiny and colorful, and then there's that one scene where Joy and what the hell is the name of that?
Bing Bong?
Bing Bong, yes. Bing Bong, the imaginary friend. They get stuck in the place where all memories go when they're forgotten, and everything is just dark charcoal gray, like disgusting
I
colors.
cried.
Did you really?
I did. I actually did cry.
Yeah, it
the
got really
memories-
sad at
'cause
some parts.
There's like the ones that get stored. They're like the orbs or whatever. When they get like forgotten, so they get like thrown over the cliff, but like you can't get them back. And if they've been there for too long, they start to like
Disintegrate.
yeah, they disintegrate and they disappear. And so it was super sad. Like, and the memories still play, but they're just like dull. So you just see these memories like disappearing, and it was
Yeah,
super
I feel
sad
like
to watch.
I feel like a lot of this doesn't make sense if you haven't seen the movie. 'Cause,
Yeah.
basically, the setup of the the setting of the movie is in Riley's brain, and there's the command center, which is this big room with all the emotions in it.
That's where they pilot the
Diagram.
Megazord.
That's where they pilot the Megazord, and it's above this gigantic, just abysmal pit. And there's from the center of that leads out
There's, like,
like
lines.
5 lines that go to these islands that are also structured on pillars coming out of the pit.
And it's like
that
her
are,
core things that like define Riley as a person.
Yeah, they're all of her personality traits that are defined by core memories, which are orbs that are, when she gets those memories, they're very vibrant and glowing, and they keep them in the command center instead of storing them at the edges of the cliff, and where they keep just rows and columns. It looks like a humongous library of all these orbs stacked up on shelves, and that's where all that is. There's also areas that are dedicated to different processes of the brain. There's a big quartered off giant metal building called the abstract thought machine, and they have to travel through that at one point, and it gets fired up, and they start turning into all these these Picasso-esque
creepy.
That was funny.
painting monsters. It was pretty funny. And then there's an imagination land where all this fantastical stuff from Riley's imagination as a child is stored, and that's where Bing Bong originates from, which is it's her imaginary friend that they find wandering around the memory storage, who is a very central character towards the middle of the movie.
What was his
What was what?
the voice of him? I couldn't figure it out.
It was Rashida Jones.
It wasn't Rashida Jones. I know exactly who he is. I'm picturing him, but I can't think of his name.
But yeah, and then they go to at one point they go to this place. What was it? What did they call it? The dream place. It was just some
Oh, the recording studio?
the recording studio.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
like
they had this Hollywood-esque.
DreamWorks
DreamWorks,
Productions.
whatever.
Ha ha ha.
It was
Copyright.
DreamWorks.
But
But
Get it?
it was like a Hollywood-esque studio where they would film dreams, and it was comical. That was a very funny part. And then they go to her subconscious, which is like a dungeon where they keep stuff that they don't want to get out into the rest of her brain.
Yeah. So we talked about how the command center is stationed over different parts of her emotions, and it sprits everywhere, all over his face. It splits off into different islands, and on these different islands are very important
core
aspects of Riley's personality. Do you want to go ahead and talk to everyone about what that was about?
Yeah, she had 5 core memories throughout her life that defined her as a person, and it created the islands. And one of them was family, and it showed her like playing with her family when she was really little. And then she had goofiness, which was her it was a memory of her making like monkey faces with her family, or slapping her butt.
That was racist, by the way.
What?
The monkey thing, I didn't appreciate that.
And the next one was friendship, where she had her and her friends like walking down the street. And how many did I name? 3?
Yeah, the hockey.
Hockey, so that was a big part of her.
Hockey was an entire personality trait for her.
Yeah, it was that important. And what was the last one?
There was Goofy. Family, hockey, friendship, and was there only 4?
No, there was 5.
There was 5. What was the 5th one?
Oh gosh.
Friendship?
No.
Honesty.
Honesty.
Yeah, she was very big on honesty.
Yep. And
until she ran away.
Yeah. And so basically, like throughout the movie, if something would happen, if something in her life happened, it would destroy one of the islands. So.
Well, this was only. It would only destroy the islands if this was after joy and sadness were unavailable.
Oh, yeah. I'm
and
just skipping all over the place.
the core memories for those islands were also with them, and they had to try to get them back to the command center.
We don't have Eddie with us today, so this review is going to be all over the
joy
place.
Joy and sadness were gone, but if one of the 3 emotions that were left, if they did something, like if fear pushed her like over the edge when he like moved the things, and like when she ran away, it was because they decided to do that. That's when the honesty one like went away. True. Because she decided to do something and it affected that. It wasn't because the core memories were gone.
But they were fear was trying to replace them, and that just wouldn't work. Remember?
Well, no, all 3 of the emotions were trying to take over as joy and sadness, but their inherent nature is to do something fearful or to do something disgusting.
I thought those parts were great.
So like it was Anger's idea to run away.
Yeah.
So he destroyed her
honesty and
innocence,
family.
Yeah.
Well, the family
and like when Anger took the best of her when she was trying out for the hockey team, and she was like, I hate this, I'm not doing this anymore. It destroyed hockey because he destroyed hockey.
Hockey is gone.
Basically.
Goodbye, hockey.
Yeah. So I want to talk to you guys now about what you guys actually, if there is anything, what you didn't like about the movie. Was there anything that didn't really pull you in on this?
Very minor and like almost uninfluential things. Like there was a few cliches as far as like childhood fears go, like clowns. I suppose it's relatable, but I just don't find clowns frightening, and it's to a point where it's like, all right, come on, clowns.
Yeah,
we get it.
I can agree with that. I understand that people find them frightening, but for me, I'm just like, what is frightening about a clown? Like,
it's some
they're
dude
all
in
out of
face
shape.
paint. Yeah, they're out of shape dudes in face paint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you?
I don't think there was anything I really didn't like about it. I thought it was really sad, but I feel like it had to be sad for you to feel.
Well, that was part of the message.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I cried in it. I cried twice.
I didn't cry, but I got close at a few points. I got a little watery-eyed, a little misty.
I think for me, and you guys are about to see the greatest segue ever. One of the things I didn't like about the movie, and I understand why they did it, but for a little bit during this movie, there was a very dark tone. Riley's running away from her family, and sadness has run away, and Joy is lost in the pit of no memories. And there's the scene where Joy is trying to get out of that pit by flying in a rocket ship with Bing Bong.
Calling it a rocket ship is a stretch. That's what they call it, but it's a wagon.
It's a wagon with 2 brooms
Yeah.
on it, and when they sing, it shoots rainbows and lifts them into the sky. But if essentially they keep trying, and Bing Bong decides that they can't get over the cliff if he's in the cart. He weighs too much, so he just he's like, oh, keep going, and he jumps out of the cart, and she reaches it, and she's really happy, and then she turns around and realizes he isn't there. And at that point, the movie gets like super dark, and like I felt like for a kids movie, it got a little bit too sad. Like,
I think it's less of a haha this makes kids happy movie and more of a you need to learn about life, kid. Watch this movie.
and like I don't necessarily think that Disney Pixar should do that. Like
Well,
for example, like Finding Nemo.
yeah.
Finding Nemo,
That was sad.
it was sad, yes, but this one felt like a different kind of sad.
Yeah, because Bing Bong essentially ceased to exist.
He
after
ceased to
that.
exist, but also I felt like in Finding Nemo, you watched this movie and it was sad, but you also were just like, this isn't real. These are fish. Like, okay,
Yeah.
you disconnected yourself from it in a way. This movie was about core memories and like emotions, and like they went down a pretty dark path. Like emotions can screw you up. Like,
Yeah.
and I felt a little bit like the dark tones of the movie were a little bit too dark for a
Too
kids
strong.
movie. Yeah. That being said, it's still selling out theaters every day. So they're obviously doing something right. But I don't know. What did you guys think about that?
But like, I get that part. That it was really like too dark. I feel like, but how many kids really understand it that much? Do you know what I mean? Like we understand it because we're older and we understand what's happening. But for other kids, like I mean, parents would probably feel the same way. But for kids that are like 10 and younger, like they probably don't.
I don't know. I think
Catch
you
that.
might be
I wouldn't catch that when I was little.
I think you might be underestimating a lot of kids though,
I don't-
because there
I'm
are
not
some
underestimating
sharp
kids.
kids who
I
like to
mean-
play off as being dumb.
Yeah.
Found a hair.
That was mine.
That was like this big.
Oh. But I feel like some kids like probably wouldn't catch that.
Yeah, true.
What do you think, Nate?
I'm gonna have to disagree with you. I think that it was a necessary darkness that came about that point, because one of the main themes in this movie that it comes to at the end is that in order for there to be happiness, there also has to be joy. Or in order for there to be joy, there also has to be sadness, is what I meant to say. And Joy does not get that at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until the point where like Bing Bong is dead now. He's gone. She watched him disappear. All right. So basically, yeah, Bing Bong is ceasing to exist, and Joy needs to get back to the command center, but she has no way how to do it now. And then she has a sudden realization, and it helps her see what she was missing all along, because all she wanted to do for the first 10 years of Riley's life was just every day is happy, every day is happy, every day is happy, and she's coming to realize that that's not how it can be anymore.
Yeah. And the scene in which she discovers that, you need more than just joy in your life is actually very intense. She's holding one of the core memories, and it's of her hockey team. They're holding her and supporting her, and they're throwing her in the air. But she looks at this memory as only joy. And a couple of scenes before, Sadness points out that in that scene, they're supporting her because they lost. And she was upset because they lost the championship game. And Joy is just looking at this memory as a happy memory, but she's sitting alone looking at this memory, and she swipes it, almost like an iPhone, Apple. Sponsor.
God, you your thought.
And she's swiping the memory, and she notices that when she swipes it, it's a sad memory because
it goes from yellow to blue.
Yeah, it's a sad memory about how her parents were sitting with her, and they were like, "It's okay, you didn't win, but you'll win the next one." And then that's when her team comes and comforts her. And I feel like that is a really big part of this movie, in which she finally realizes that you need more than just one memory. You need more than one emotion. You can't be happy all the time. You need a balance of these 5 core emotions to really be who you are and be a productive and, I guess, good member of society. Not good member, but like...
Not dysfunctional.
Yes, not dysfunctional. Not emotionally dysfunctional. But I
know a couple people like that.
I do remember talking to Mr. Lingo about an interesting concept that he brought up. He was discussing that how most, like, from Finding Nemo on, Pixar has started to make the theme and the message a little bit darker and a little bit more realistic instead of childish to get, you know, some of that adult audience to pay attention. And I kind of wanted to get your guys' opinion on this. How do you feel about, like, these messages that Pixar is putting in their movie?
I think that's really true, because mostly when you go to a movie, if, like, you're taking your child, the parent is the one paying attention to the movie, because the child is just there because it's pretty and it's colorful and they don't really pay that much attention, but the parent is the one sitting there watching it and understanding the movie, and I feel like they want to have the parents liking the movies too, rather than just thinking, oh, it was cute, you know, thinking it was actually a really good movie with great messages. So I think that that's a good idea for Pixar to do.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel like it's not so much these kids are being exposed to something that they don't understand. It's more of just an incepting of the memory, because a lot of these kids
I
probably
don't know what that means.
they're putting it in the kids.
Sorry, Nate.
They're putting it in the kids' heads basically, even though they don't understand it yet. And even if they don't understand it, later down on the line, they'll maybe think back to the movie that they liked, and they'll think, wow, that actually meant something, and I kind of understand it now. I think it's a good way of like, because there's a lot of unruly kids in the world, and I think it's a good way of helping them to understand certain life choices and decisions that they may not get from their parents or their family or whatever. And another point that I wanted to go back to real quick about her learning that there has to be sadness to be for there to be joy is there's a little bit of foreshadowing in that visually from the movie, because all the characters are all one solid color except for Joy. She has blue hair and blue eyes while she's yellow.
And a green dress.
Yeah, but all the other characters are all one solid color except for maybe like Anger wears a suit and tie that's white and black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I never noticed that.
I never noticed that.
Yeah, she's
Good job,
the only,
Nate.
she's the only one who's multicolored.
Look at you.
Nice.
So, one thing I want to talk to you guys about, one of my favorite parts of the movie is the cast. The cast of this movie was awesome. Well, voice actors of this movie. A lot of famous, like, funny people in other movies and in other there was a lot of people from The Office in this. We had Rashida Jones, who we've yet to figure out who she played. We just saw her in the credits. Mindy Kaling played Disgust. Phyllis from The Office played Sadness. Amy Poehler was Joy. Bill Hader played Fear, and I do not know who played Anger.
He's the guy who's always angry.
Oh! That's right. His character is always angry.
No.
Have you guys seen the Flight Birds?
No, I mean like the actor. The actor. He always has like this like look on his face, and he's always like angry.
The guy who plays no.
And
never
his
mind.
voice is oh god. Oh.
But anyway,
I know exactly who he is, and I can't name.
but yeah,
him.
Amy Poehler personally I feel is a great voice actress. She sounds great in all of the roles that she does. She has a very quirky and happy voice, so obviously she was perfect for Joy. But how did you guys feel about the cast? I know we talked about this, and you really.
I mean, I don't pay attention to names. I just pay attention to if the film's good or not. I know some people go into a movie for names, and they're like, oh, I know that actor plays good movies. If the movie has good reviews or if it looks good in the trailer, then I'll go see it regardless of who's in it.
All right. Well, cool.
Sorry.
Alyssa, how did you feel about the cast?
I loved it. Everyone that's in it was like my favorite people. I love Bill Hader from SNL, and Amy Poehler from Parks and Rec, and then the Office cast. So the movie all around was just, I was so happy about everybody that was in it. And like I would watch Amy Poehler say something, and like I would picture her doing the exact same thing and like saying things. She was like talking about planning things, and I just pictured Leslie Knope from Parks and Rec just in my head the entire time. And it made the movie so much better to me because of the voice actors. And like that's my favorite part about movies, like the Lego movie, when I was watching it and there's so many characters that there's so many voices. I love figuring out who they are. That's like my favorite part of
Well, I mean, some of them are like blatantly obvious.
some of them, but
But
like
a lot of them aren't.
but
like Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill as Green Lantern and Superman. God, that was funny.
but some people don't catch who they are, you know what I mean? Some people
Yeah.
watch it and like can't figure it out. Like I think I was watching I think I watched it with my best friend, and she for the longest time didn't know that Chris Pratt was the voice. She had no idea, and she was like, Did you know Chris Pratt was like the main voice of that? And
I
was
mean,
like,
I didn't. I saw it. I didn't really care to think about it, but I
no,
suppose.
see, but
yeah.
that's what I go in.
Now that you
I
say
go
it,
into movies
it
like
was
that.
Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
I go into movies like that thinking about
Chris
the
Pratt is
voices.
everything.
Chris
He's
Pratt
in
is
everything.
my life. I am Chris Pratt. This is it.
So I have another question that I want to ask you guys. We've never really done this before. We have, but to an extent.
Are you gonna ask it for anal?
Oh my goodness.
Nate, you know I don't ask for that. I just go and apologize if I shouldn't. I want to ask you guys what your favorite scene in the movie was.
Ooh.
If you guys could pick one.
Oh.
I'll start it off, actually, because I have one. And I don't know why, it just really stuck out to me. There's a scene where Joy needs to cross over a giant chasm. And previously, when she's in imagination, there's a machine where these imagination workers are building her dream boyfriend. And it's just this like this broody like long-haired guy, and he's like,
like
I
Harry
would die
Styles.
for Riley. And so she needs to cross the bridge. So she goes over to the control panel and she makes 999,000 of them and stuffs them into her bag.
It's like a magic bag of holding.
And
which is
she's just like
infinite capacity.
And she goes, how do you guys feel about Riley? And they're like, I would die for Riley. And she's like, all right, time to test that. And she stuffs them in a bag and runs over to the edge of the cliff and throws them off. And like those barrel of monkeys, they connect to each other. And as they're falling through the sky, they're just all repeatedly chanting like, I would die for Riley, Riley, as they're like falling and dying. I loved that. I felt it was really
I forgot
funny.
about that.
I felt it
That
was really
so funny.
to see them personify little girls building their dream boyfriend and how they would die for Riley. And eventually she was like, well, you're going to. I'm going to make you die for Riley. So, what was your favorite scene, Melissa?
Now that you point that out, that probably
Nope,
was.
you can't.
I'm not gonna take it, but I'm saying that was probably one of my really favorite scenes. Can we go to someone else so I can think about this for a second? Because I have no idea.
shit.
All right, Nate, what was
Yeah.
your favorite scene?
Spotlight.
I hate trying to figure out my favorite
I
scenes.
think my favorite scene was probably. You'll probably disagree with it because it's super dark. The scene right after where like the whole sequence where they're in the pit, and then she has the realization that like you can't have happiness without sadness. It's like I came to that realization at a point in my life around her age too.
Is that when you stopped wearing black clothing and eyeliner?
That's when I started wearing black clothes. And
Guy liner.
I feel that was a very topical scene for me. I could relate very, very deeply to it.
You've had some time now.
So that 20 seconds. I wouldn't say it was like a scene, but I think that even though Sadness wasn't my favorite character, I loved the lines that she had throughout the entire movie.
She just throws herself on the ground.
Yeah, it was so fun because like that's
She's getting dragged.
like,
This is kind of
like I do that. Like, do you ever get to a point where like you have so much to do in your day that you just lay down instead of doing it, or like take a nap because you're just like, I can't do this. I'm just gonna go take a nap.
That's unproductive.
Yeah, I don't do that.
Well, that's
Wow.
what I do. If I have like so much to do in my day, I'm like, you know what, this bed looks a lot
Fuck it,
better.
I'm not
I can
doing
see
that.
Yeah, that's what I do. So like her lines when she would just like fall down onto the ground and then Joy had to carry her everywhere. That was so
Drag
funny.
her.
Drag
Drag
her.
her. It was so funny. So I thought her lines were hilarious. And the one she was like, are you sure about that? She was like, I'm positive that we're not gonna make it. I thought that was funny because she's not positive.
I remember that funny movie where the dog dies.
I loved it. Or how like they made her stay in a circle and like read
The
like
circle
the
of
manual
sadness.
because she wasn't allowed to touch anything.
Yeah.
I thought that was really funny.
All right, well, we're about to give you guys a Movie Lingo exclusive. We're going to get inside the heads of each of these three panelists.
That's right. We're doing a lobotomy.
So, Nate, this movie's focused on, like emotions being personified as characters. Which emotion do you think personifies you the most? Like, which one runs your thought?
A little embarrassing. I actually took a Facebook quiz on it.
Oh
There's
my.
a Facebook quiz?
There
Yeah,
is.
you're not on Facebook.
I want to take one.
Yeah, one of my friends had took it, and I saw it, and I was like, you
Oh,
know what,
Andrew?
why not? Yeah, Andrew did. And I was like, you know what, why not? And I took it, and the questions were very obvious, but I tried to answer them as best as I could, and I got joy.
Oh.
Which I guess
makes sense.
that makes sense, and I'm definitely more matured than the character in the movie, so it's a more balance, obviously. But I feel like happiness leads my life. pretty
Whenever
well.
like people are having like arguments or whatever, you try to like break them up and say something funny.
With my fists.
No, but like so you let joy surround you.
I
think.
suppose.
I think that's correct. You're really joyful.
All right, what about you?
Mine would be disgust for sure. She was super sassy and had attitude and was like
Sassitude.
gross by everything. I'm totally
Phantasmical.
disgusted. I'm totally disgusted. 100%.
I'm not exactly sure which one I would be. I feel like I would be Joy, and I want to think that I would be Joy. But I also have like a bad temper, and when I get angry, like it doesn't matter what you say or what you do. It's just I'm angry, and it's not gonna get fixed. Like yesterday at work, it was a terrible day, and like I was helping some people out, and I eventually just had to ask someone. I was like, you know, you got to do this for me. I need to go sit around and like relax for a second, because when I get angry, I get so like.
Oh, you could tell it affects you.
Yeah.
You brood.
Yeah, I brood. I don't brood as much as some people we would know in our lives who.
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
But
leave it at that.
no, not that one. Not you, Eddie.
Eddie, stop brooding.
He's brooding right now.
But I want to say Joy, but I think anger probably controls me a little bit more.
No, you just have a bunch of mustachioed, clean-cut emotions.
What if it was
Just
just
like the dad.
Joy and like Amy
With a
Poehler's Joy with
mustache.
a big, huge mustache? That's basically what it is.
Sexy.
So it's a bandito now.
I would
Yeah.
still love Amy Poehler and be her husband if she had a giant, dirty mustache.
I feel like mustachioed women in real life, it's wispy and small. That's why it doesn't look good. If women could grow a full bushy mustache, it wouldn't look so bad.
I'm trying to right now. It's just not working that
Yeah,
well.
I can tell.
I know.
All right, so another question I have for you guys. Riley has a bunch of different islands that make up her core personality traits: hockey, friendship, honesty, goofiness, and family. If your psyche was broken down into like maybe 2 or 3, 4 islands, what do you guys think they would be?
Gotta pick some islands?
Yeah,
Alright.
I'm actually gonna start with you because I
Okay.
started with him on the
I
last
think
one.
I think I know what I'm gonna say.
I think I know what you're gonna say too.
One Direction.
Stop!
Yeah!
No, but like, it's a huge part of my life. It's really sad to say. I mean, it's not that sad because you guys are ridiculous.
Can we
things that are a
try?
huge part
Can
of
we
your
try
lives.
predicting them for each other? Is that okay?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
You can try to predict mine.
One
I can
Direction.
predict all of yours,
Yep.
Cody.
Kylie Jenner.
No.
Instagram.
No.
That's it.
Womanhood.
It's like you don't even know.
Your Griffey.
Okay.
Yeah. Your
Animals.
dog. Animals. Yeah.
So it'd be family, friendship, One Direction.
That's not a band anymore.
It would be. It'd be Fashion Island. She had Fashion Island at the end of the movie. Ooh, we didn't talk about that. Fashion Island, definitely. And then TV show Island, because I watch way too many TV shows.
All right, Nate.
I feel like I'd have probably Useless Trivia Island.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All things Prehistoric Island.
As we all noticed from the Jurassic World review.
And Being Helpful Island. I like to help people. And
Rhyming Island.
what? No, I don't rhyme that much.
MC,
Yo,
MC Island.
And then I guess the last one would probably be Imagination Island, because I like to think about things a lot.
All right. I think if we're gonna be completely honest, I would have Comics and Collectibles Island, because I'm a huge
That'd
and
fall under my Imagination Island, I feel.
well, it's not an imagination because I own them.
Yeah, but
That's
they're still
why.
imaginary.
They're not imaginary.
The stories are.
Spider-Man is real.
You're right, I'm him.
Right.
I would have like a Comics and Collectibles Island with a very heavy Star Wars, Power Rangers, Pokemon, and Spider-Man influence, because I'm actually 6 years old. I would have a Friendship Island because I love like the people that I hang out with. These guys suck, but my actual friends.
We do. It's true. He's not
But
lying.
I have like a core group of small friends that I hang out with, and I appreciate them, and I wouldn't trade them for the world. Work Island, because I work a lot. Before this job that I'm full time at, I was always doing 2 jobs, and if Mr. Lingo was here, he would rebuttal that, because
I'm working 65.
Eddie has 63 jobs at any given time, and it's like, oh, I gotta go do this thing that I do once a month for another job, and he's just insane. And the fact that he has the time to put this all together. Shout out to you, Eddie, wherever you are.
You're the true MVP.
Yeah.
You crying?
Can I say no? My eye has been itching this entire
You
video.
can cry.
You gonna
It's
scratch
okay.
it?
Yeah, no, I don't want you to scratch it. Can I say Boobs Island?
Yes.
Is that okay?
Boobs
Yeah,
Island.
boobs are awesome. I'm just gonna go there and put.
That goes into my Imagination Island.
I have a whole island for it. I'm not gonna list 5 because I don't want to make one up just because I need 5. So I'm just gonna leave it at 4.
You can do ass and titties.
But I can't lie. I'm a boobs man.
Fair
I'm
enough.
a boobsman.
Fair enough.
So yeah, I think
JP Boobson.
I feel like I would see that on a billboard or like on a bench somewhere. But yeah, so let's give this all a rating. What did you guys? How did you guys feel about the movie? If you
9
had-
out of 10.
Wow. All right. 9 out of 10, right there.
Right there.
How come?
Yeah.
Because I loved it. I can't even think of anything bad about it. Like, even though it was dark, I didn't
So
think
then
it,
why would it not be a 10 out of 10?
10 out of 10.
No, I don't. That was a question.
Because
It's a kids movie.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's a movie that I would give 10 out of 10 to.
Ever?
I would. Jurassic World.
Really?
Really? Are you
Oh, that's
sure?
right. You did give it a 10 out
Yes.
of 10.
The only movie I ever said that I gave a 10 out of 10 was One Direction, This Is Us.
That's right. Keep going.
But I don't know.
Here.
I don't really give movies 10 out of 10 because I feel like I like almost every movie that I watch. So if I give everything a 10 out of 10, I feel like my opinion doesn't matter anymore because I'm just like giving everything a 10 out of 10. So I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10.
Okay.
Nathaniel.
Archibald.
I know I'm gonna get called out for being a copycat, but I also give it a 9 out of 10.
Copycat!
We're gonna fight later.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'd say definitely a 9 out of 10 because I feel like it had really good pacing, fantastic themes, and it came to an end very well. We didn't talk about the ending. The ending is with all of her emotions are back in the command room, and she has new islands, and she's growing as a person, and it's fantastic to see.
Mm-hmm.
All
I
right,
just
cool.
think it was well put together.
I would give it an 8 out of 10. First of all, because it was a very
I
good,
didn't think you hated this movie. I'm sorry.
it was a good movie, but as much as I liked it, it still wasn't for me. It was for a younger audience, and that's why it's not gonna stick with me as a huge like 10 out of 10 movie. But visually, it looked really good. The cast was good. The message was very strong. There were a lot of times in this movie where I giggled more and laughed more than I thought I was actually going to at a movie that's aimed for 10-year-olds, which I guess says more about my sense of humor than it does about how well the movie did.
But
But yeah, I would give the movie a definite 10 out of 10. Or, no, I mean 8 out of 10.
wow,
Oh.
you heard it here.
Freudian
Yo,
slip.
Freudian slip. You really thought that.
Yeah, but I would definitely give it an 8 out of 10. It was an enjoyable experience, and I liked watching it.
Well, good. Man, close it.
Yeah, so we have a 9 and a 9 and 18. That's 26 divided by 3. What's 26 divided by 3?
That's
It's 8. It's like an 8 point.
Math.
It's like an 8.3.
8 something.
That's it's 8.5. Basically, would be an average score
Alright.
of our movie lingo review score.
It did better than Jurassic World, didn't it? Jurassic World had a 7.5.
No, I think Jurassic World did better than that.
I think
Eight.
Jurassic World brought it down because Eddie brought it down.
Go ahead and check out Jurassic World Review by Movie Lingo on our YouTube page and any of our other videos so that you can call us out on our math.
Yep, that's a good idea.
Alright guys, this has been another Movie Lingo discussion for the movie Inside Out. My name is Cody.
I'm Alyssa.
And my name is Nate.
And if you want to check out this video and any of our other videos, you can search the Movie Lingo channel on YouTube and also check us out on movielingo.net.
You can also go on Twitter and search the handle MovieLingo1 and follow us on there.
Or on Instagram at MovieLingo.
And once again, we are on location at Past, Present, Future Comics in Davie, Florida. They've got absolutely everything you would ever want. You get statues, collectibles, comic books, figures, shirts, pop vinyls. They have cool Japanese soda and candy.
And super friendly staff.
Yeah, the guys that
Yes.
work here are awesome. They are very, very helpful, and they let us film here, and we absolutely adore them for it. And it's just a great atmosphere. It's really fun. They have magic tournaments every Friday night if you guys are in the area and want to check that out. But please feel free to stop by, say hello if you guys want to come check us out sometime while we're filming. That'd be awesome. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.